Hi, here's Patsy. So I popped on today, I'm surrounded by decks. I'm going to show you my 10 decks that I'll be working with in the autumn. So I've got 5 oracles and 5 tarot, and these are the ones that I intend to work with during September through to November. It may even go beyond that. So the first one, the one that I'm actually working with already this month, I've just started working with it, is the Woodland Tallow. I actually bought this a couple of years ago, the backs, but then I passed it on because I didn't use it and I couldn't really connect with it, so I gifted it to someone. I can't even remember who I gifted it to, but I gifted it to someone anyway. And then a few months ago I saw it being used on YouTube and I thought, I want that deck back, so I went and bought it again. This is one of those decks that I rebought. So I bought it again and I've started working with it this month and I'm really enjoying working with it. It's a gorgeous deck. I don't think as yet I would feel comfortable doing full readings with this because I'm still really getting used to it. But it's a gorgeous deck and I'm really enjoying working with that and getting to know that better. So that is that one. And what I'm doing when I get readings for other people or want to do like a big spread for myself, I've been using my Dark Mansion Tarot this month, and that one will stay out on my side because it's one of my favourite decks and it suits this time of year. So this was gifted to me because I'd wanted this for a long time, but it was out in my price range, and luckily I was gifted it by one of my lovely subscribers, and ever since then it's never been too far away from me. I just love this deck, but I do think it kind of suits this time of year as well. So that is the one that I've been using it the last couple of months, but I'm still kept it out to use through the autumn, and I'm sure well beyond. But I just love this deck. So that is the Dark Mansion. So that's my number 2. So the next one will be no surprise to people this time of year, October. It's the Everyday Witch. I haven't used this actually since last winter. Around this sort of time I used it for the month of October, I think it was. And then it got put up and I haven't really used it. And this is the problem that I've got because I've got so many decks. A lot of decks don't really get used. So I am doing a cull of all the decks that I don't want to work with. But this is being pulled out for October. You've got to have the black cats and the witches, typical witchy images, aren't you, for October. So it's a lovely deck and I forgot how nice it were. And that's it again, you know, when you have so many, you just keep putting them up. When you get them out again, you're like, oh yeah, I forgot how nice that was. I'll have to use that. So yeah, so that is my number 3. That is the Everyday Witch. My number 4, I got recently when it came out, and I haven't really used it. It got put up, and it's the Shadowland Tower. Now I did use it for a short period of time when I first got it. Then it got put up. But again, I think like the Everyday Witch, this is going to be one of them decks that goes really well with this dark season where we get dark nights from sort of 5 o'clock, and it's sort of 5, 6 o'clock the nights start getting dark here, and the cold dark nights, and you know, just that autumn feeling. I just think this deck goes really well with that. It's a great deck. It's very different. I just never got round to using it, not really. Like I said, I used it for about a week and then it got put up. So I'm looking forward to getting to know this better. So that is the Shadowland Tower. So then the last deck that I'm going to show you what I'll be working with is another one that I got a few months ago and never really used it. I think it could have been even near enough a year ago I got this, and it's the Guardian Tallow. And I've used it a couple of times and then again it got put up and I've never used it. So I'm looking forward to getting to know this one better, because every time I see people show this, I love it, and I love the images. I know it's one of those decks some people sort of are not at all interested in it and think it looks like aliens and whatever, rather than the trees that it is based on, you know. But there was something about this deck that I found really healing when I used it. I love that Hermit card. So I'm really looking forward to getting to know this. So that is my number 5 of my tarot decks that I'll be using this coming season. So that's my tarot. So now we'll go on to my oracle. This is one that I'm using at the minute, and it is the Mists of Avalon. I love this deck. I forgot how much I liked this deck until I pulled it a few weeks ago, and I'm really enjoying working with this. It's a lovely deck, and it gives some really accurate readings. So that is one that I'm going to carry on working with this month. So that is the Mists of Avalon. That's by Rose and Sarah. And then this one I'm also using as well, and this is the Earth Magic. This one by Stephen D. Farmer. I've had this one a few years, and this time of year I always drag it out. There's just something about it that I really enjoy using it at this time of year. And I started using it a couple of days ago, alongside my Mist of Avalon and the Wildwood Tarot. But yeah, there's just something about this deck that I just love to pull. It's a gorgeous deck anyway, but this time of year I seem to want to pull it out. So there we go. So that is the Earth Magic by Stephen D. Farmer. So then the next one that I'm going to be working with is, oh, I'm going to pick it up. The Everyday Witch Oracle, to go with the Everyday Witch Tarot there. Now, I got this when it came out, and I wasn't sure about it, but I kept it because I thought, well, you know, I'll try it again. So I've kept hold of it, and I will see how I'll go with it. I mean, I love the tarot, but we will see how we go with the oracle. I mean, the artwork is, you know, you can see it goes really well together in the backs and everything, so I shall use them together and see how they work out, whether or not I'll be keeping them for next year or getting rid of. So that is my number 3, and my number 4 that I'll be working with in the oracles is the Tree Angel Oracle deck. This is by Earth Dancer publisher. That's the backs. There's just something about trees that I love anyway, especially again autumn. For some reason, the nature decks are a big favourite of mine anyway, but especially this time of year. And this deck, when I got it, I used it for a couple of weeks and I really enjoyed working with it. And then I put it up to work with something else and I haven't pulled it out again. So this is one that I'm gonna use again this season. But these cards are absolutely stunning. Lovely quality. They are shiny, but they're lovely quality cards. They're not at all bendy like that Everyday Witch. But yeah, so that is the Tree Angel Oracle deck that I shall be using. And then the last one is my little Litchlings deck. I love this little deck. I mean, I'm a great fan of Paulina Cassidy anyway, and her artwork, but this little deck is really lovely. And what I liked about this as well, the little book that you get is the Book of Spells. So whatever card you pull, you know, like the wish. So if you go to the book and you find wish in the book, I don't know where. Let's have a look, see if it's got. So much information in this little book, all about essential oil magic and candle magic and all sorts. I'm trying to find, I think it's all in alphabetical order, I think. So long, yeah, since I used it, I'm not 100% sure, but I thought it was, yeah, wish. There it is. And then you've got like a couple of pages there of the wish, and it tells you how to make a wish sachet, and it sort of says what you'll need and how you do it. And then wish wind, you'll need a piece of paper and pen and a bowl. Write down your wish on the blank piece of paper. Being careful, of course, burn the paper over the bowl while visualising your wish coming true. Chant aloud, intent as the paper is burning. May my wish live and breathe, and so mote it be. So it's sort of like, you know, whatever card you've got, go in your book and it gives you a couple of little spells that you can do to set your intentions. And that's the back, very typical of Paulina Cassidy. And then these are the cards. You get like a little bit on the bottom. Know that you deserve all things wondrous and believe you can have them. That's prosperity. So they're all cute little witchling images from Paulina Cassidy, her style of art. And I just thought that would be a lovely little deck just to pour a little affirmation or whatever every day from this deck during the autumn season. So that is the little book deck of Litchlings by Paulina Cassidy. So there we go. So that is the 10 decks that I'll be working with through autumn, and I don't think there'll be more that I'll pull because there's plenty to be going on here with. And I have found lately that I have been sticking to one deck, one tarot and 2 oracles a month. This month it's been 2 tarot because, like I said, with doing the Wildwood, I wouldn't feel comfortable doing a full reading for somebody else with that. So I am using my Dark Mansion, but that's always around anyway because I just love to read with that whatever time of year. So yeah, it's lovely to watch everybody else's videos and what decks they're using. Some are very similar and some completely different. So it's always nice to see what people are going to work with. And thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye for now.